Welcome back to our winter wrap-up show as we wrap up basketball and high school swimming, and it's good to see you, Coach.
You too.
The season has ended now for the high school swim team, and we haven't had you on as much as we'd like to, but kind of give us an idea, has it?
Yes. We did well. This was definitely what I would call a rebuilding year. I graduated, I think, 9 seniors last year. And so, I had a big group of new ones come in. So we've been working with them, and it was still a great season overall. It was a first for me. I only took 4 boys and 4 girls to state, so it was a very small number, but they did well.
That's the thing early on, as you said, the numbers are not there. They will be, but right now they're not. So in terms of the state meet, how things go there?
The boys turned up 11th overall, which is a little lower than what we normally do, but still really great for only having 4 boys. And the girls ended 23rd.
I don't want to cause you pain to remember names, but we might kind of mention some of those kids, and in particular, are any of those coming back next season?
Most of them are coming back. The girls we took were Ellie Roth. She's a graduating senior this year. Sarah Hamilton, which is a new join. Brianna Boswell, which was also a new join. And Riley Barrick, who will return next year as a junior. And the boys that we took was Gage Barrick, who is a graduating senior this year. Alec King, who will be a returning junior. Alex Meyer and Stephen Lorette, who will Alec King will be a returning senior, and Alex Meyer and Stephen Lorette will be returning juniors.
I appreciate you remembering that. That's a hard thing to do when somebody throws that at you, but with them coming back, and when you look at the overall program, are you going to have more numbers next season?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We have some 8th graders coming in who swam for me in club and who still currently swim club. So that's always great to get the ones in who kind of already know what's going on. And then, of course, we'll have the kids coming back who already got their first year going in the pool, and so we'll be good.
I know that some sports, if somebody's not ready, you don't put them in there. Could you have put kids in there that weren't ready this season to improve your numbers?
Well, what I do is when I first get them, I evaluate to see what they can and can't do in the water. Everybody swims in a meet. Nobody gets out of it. They figure out pretty quick. Sink or swim, that's what I call it. We sink or swim. And they figure it out. Everybody competed this year, even the new ones.
So everybody does the most important thing, and that is get time in the pool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If they come to me and they can't swim with their face in the water, we spend the first couple of weeks learning freestyle, and they get over that worrisome of not being able to put their face in the water, and then we go. 2 of the girls that went to state with us, Sarah Hamilton and Brianna Boswell, came to me in October after volleyball was over.
That's a real positive.
Yeah.
And our summer aquatic program is as good as anybody's, and you stay part of that, don't you?
I do not anymore at this time. I've stepped back and I just do high school. Dave Straw has come back in. It took me a little bit of begging and pleading with him, but he's come back in and taken over to the younger kids.
Well, Dave certainly was a one-time coach wearing your hat.
Oh, absolutely.
So and that
he was my coach when I was a kid and in high school.
Well, we'll date him then. So, but it's like any other sport, though. Isn't that the key, though? Is that off season and that work and that training? And again, with the great pool, that's a good positive for our swim program.
I always preach for the sports across the board, not just my own feeder program. We are a small, and of course I'm 5A, but we're a small 6A school, and I mean, you got to have the feeder programs there getting those kids ready to come up into high school and do what they're trained to do.
And a lot of the work in the summer, you see a lot about swim meets and programs, that type of thing. And, the best thing you can do if you're, I've always said this, is that if you have a son or daughter who doesn't know what direction they want to take, let them take your direction to see if that might be something, because, there's a lot of kids that can't dribble a basketball or kick a football, but you can get them in the pool and you can get them to where they can participate in that.
Oh, yeah. Some of my best swimmers, I always very lovingly joked with them that they were just not land mammals. That just wasn't their forte, running and the hand-eye coordination. But, yeah, you take a kid that maybe isn't great at that stuff and put them in the water, and sometimes it just clicks.
Is swimming like other things, the earlier the better, or is it a necessity?
Normally, I would say the earlier the better. But sometimes it just clicks at different ages for kids, because it is a lot of, you have to think of it in your mind and then express it through your body, where, catching a ball sometimes is very reactive. It's a hard training. But with swimming, I also always say the earlier you get your kids in the water, the better. We're in a community where we have so many great pools and open water. Your kids need to know how to swim.
Now, with an 11th place finish in the boys, they had to have some good finishes, Coach.
Oh, absolutely. This is also the first year that all 3 of the relays didn't go, so we only had 2 relays in, but they did great. Stephen Lorette placed high in his B finals, and he had a couple of personal bests on his times. He got his 100 fly under a minute, which was very exciting for him. His freestyle was fast. Our boys placed 6th in the 200 free relay. I think Gage Barrett came back and placed 10th in the 50 free. He only swam one individual. So they were the only 2 that went to finals individually, and then we had the 2 boys relays in finals. So 11th place is fantastic.
With only 4 boys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Keep up the good work. And I would say rest, but I know you got a busy family, so
Yes.
you're not going to rest, too. Good to see you again.
You too.
Ponca City Swimming wrapping up the winter sports season, and we appreciate the swim team and all their fine work this season. That's a wrap-up on Coach's Corner.